Hello explorers, it's that time again. It's Advent of Code, finally! And as normal, you can join the channel as a Christmas explorer and see all the uncut content before I publish any video. Let's see, day 2, Cube Conundrum. You are launched high into the atmosphere, the apex of your trajectory just barely reaches the surface of a large island floating in the sky. You gently land on a fluffy pile of leaves. It's quite cold, but you don't see much snow. An elf runs over to greet you. The elf explains that you arrived at the snow island and apologize for the lack of snow. He'll be happy to explain the situation, but it's a bit of a walk. So you have some time. They don't get any visitors up here. Would you like to play some game in the meantime? As you walk, the elf shows you a small bag of some cubes, which are either red, green or blue. Each time you play this game, he will hide a secret number of cubes of each color in the bag. And your goal is to figure out information about a number of cubes. To get information once a bag has been loaded with cubes, the elf will reach into the bag, grab a handful of random cubes, show them to you, and then put them back in the bag. He'll do this a few times per game. You play several games and record the information from each game, your puzzle input. Each game is listed in your ID number, like 11 in game 11, followed by a semicolon separated by a list of subsets of cubes that were revealed from the bag, like 3 red, 5 green, 4 blue. For example, the record of a few games could look like this. Okay? In a game 1, 3 sets of cubes are revealed from the bag and then put back again. The first set of blue cubes, red cubes. The second is a set of red cubes, green cubes, and blue cubes. And the third set is only green cubes. Okay? The elf would first like to know which games would have been possible if the bag contained only 12 red cubes, 13 green cubes, and 14 blue cubes. In the example above, game 1, 2, and 5 would have been possible if the bag had been loaded with that configuration. However, game 3 would have been impossible because one point the elf showed you 20 red cubes at once. Similarly, game 4 would have been impossible because the game showed you 15 blue cubes at once. If you add up the IDs of the games would have been possible, you get 8. Okay? 14 blue cubes. So game 3 would be impossible. And red cubes 20 would be impossible. Yes. Determine which games would have been possible if the bag had been loaded with 12 red cubes, 13 green cubes, and 14 blue cubes. What is the sum of the IDs of those games? So it's the same question as up here. So they haven't changed the question from the above down here. So get this puzzle input. Let's save that link. So we need to parse each of these, figure out what kind of sets of games we have. So if we run the current file, we should get this output. Yes. And what we want to do now is first split the line with colon. like that. So then we will get a string array of array. And if we do like 0 here, we should get all the game numbers like that. So the number of the game is equal to array 0, replace game with nothing, trim to, and then we want to have an int parse int. So then we will get the game number like that. So now let's focus on the second part. We want to figure out the different values of, and we want to have the highest value of blue, greens, and so on. So let's go blue, green, and red. So we want the highest value of those. So for this string, rounds would be array 1 split on semicolon, so that it's each hand they pull out. So if I go rounds here, I would get all the different pulls that they do for each game. And then we want to figure out how much they have in each. So if we again split this on colon, the rounds, cubes, like that, we should get just a cube, color, and number. Then we can do like pattern matching. Like pattern compile, and we can compile a pattern that has a couple of numbers followed by a couple of, or followed by a word like that. So if we do pattern matcher cubes, matcher, and if we find something, we will take the matcher and get group 1 and group 2. That should give us the number and okay. So it didn't give us the word, it gave us just a letter. So let's say a word character. So now we have all these different ones. So could we do a switch statement now? We have a newer version of Java here, so maybe we can do a switch statement on this one. So if this blue case blue, yeah, red, green. Then we do blue equals to integer parse group 1. We do red and green. And we also need to break these, of course. We don't want them to follow through like that. And we want to have new blue. If new blue is larger than blue, then blue equals to new blue. Then we should be able to, after each of these rounds, blue out. So if we do like that, we should get the highest value on each game. Can even do it like this. Blue, the highest value there. So now we've seen that we have figured out the numbers here. So now we only need to take into account these particular cubes here, the max values. We can keep that count here. So if red is larger than 12 or less or equal to 12, and green is less or equal to 13, and blue is less or equal to 14, then this game number is added to value, because we still have value up there. And then we should be able to take the value and print out down here. And that should give us 8. So that was the right value. So if we comment this one out, we switch over to using the real input. And we switch to the right day, because we can't parse day 1 and try to do this. So red is incorrect because we didn't change that value. Blue, red, green. Need to change that as well. $1853. Blue, 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 blue. Red, 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 red. Green, 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 green. So let's try this instead. Put it in. Yes! You get a gold star. I get a gold star. Everybody gets a gold star. So we just had a bug in our code. Very, very easily fixed. So I'm really happy about that. This video series is sponsored. So for all your hosting needs, go to DigitalOcean. If you want to learn something new this Christmas, then you can go to Coursera, take any of those 7,000 courses over there, or follow along with the simple Java course that I provided as well. And if you want to give your kids something really great for Christmas this year, you can give them a one-on-one course with a Code Combat trainer in order to learn coding. All the links can be found in the video description. Let's continue to day 2. Or part 2. The elf says that they are stopped producing snow because they aren't getting any water. He isn't sure why the water stopped. However, he can show you how to get the water source to check it out for yourself. It's just up ahead. As you continue to walk, the elf poses a second question. In each game you play, what is the fewest number of cubes of each color that could have been in the bag to make the game possible? Again, consider the example of the games earlier. Game 1, the game would have been played with 4 red, 2 green, 6 blue cubes. If any color had been 1 fewer cube, the game would not have been possible. Game 2 would have been played with a minimum of 1 red, 3 green, and 4 blue cubes. Game 3 must have been played with at least 10 red, 13 green, and 6 blue cubes, and so on. The power of a set of cube is equal to the numbers of red, green, and blue cubes multiplied together. The power of the minimum set of cubes in a game is 48. 12. Okay, so if we do like that, it should just be a game of multiplying these minimum values that I had here. So if we comment this one out like that, we go back to our test data set again, and let's see here. We print out the game number plus all of these blue times green times red, just to see what we get. 48, 12. Yeah, it seems like we have the right numbers. And then our value instead should be equal to this power value. And in that case, we have 2,286, which is the right one. If we then switch this over again and run with the real data set, we get 72,706. Let's put that in. Yes! You get a gold star, I get a gold star, everybody gets a gold star! So we have solved day 2. So let's go through the code again. Let's see here what we have. Currently we have a set of text up here, which has a game number. We have a number of blue, a number of red, a number of red, a number of green values. And they could be either there or not there. So I wanted to have a pattern first, so that we could take a digit and a number of characters, so we can get the actual word out and the number of digits. And the rest I will just parse simply. So then we have this buffered reader, where we will read in the day 2 text. And we will go through it either with the test data or the real data. Then we will split on a string with the colon up here to get the game part and the actual value part. So, and then we will just remove the game and trim that up and get the game number. Then we set a value of blue, green, and red to 0, so we can count these. Then we split them up first by the semicolon here, so we get these kind of parts, and then by the colon, so we get all the cube values that we can find. Then we run our matcher on that, and if we find something, either a green match or a blue match or a red match, then we will do a switch over the actual value, if it's a green, blue, red, and then we do case values over those, just because you can use switch statements now. And then if we get a blue value, the new blue value in group 1, and that value is larger than the older blue value, we'll put that into the blue, and the same for the red and for the green. So we have the max value at all times. In the first case, we check the max value against a set number of values and then added the game numbers up. And the second one, we added all the max values up and then multiplied the max values and then added that to our score and then got the number out. So today was a little bit simpler than day one. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you learned something today. If you liked this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any comments or suggestions or want to show your own code, put them in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And I really hope to see you in the next video.